Hello and welcome to Sunflower Philosophy Tarot. My name is Juliana, and in today's Timeless Pick a Card reading, we are taking a look at what your soul is most excited about in your current life right now. So I felt like this was what my soul was most excited about. Honestly, when I thought of this reading, I felt that kind of deep feeling of like, ooh, that sounds fun in my body, and I was like, okay, let's do it. So that's what we're connecting with in you today. We're connecting with that like deeper soul level excitement that you may connect with on a regular basis already, or you might not be super familiar with. Whether you've been feeling more connected with yourself lately, or you've been feeling a little disconnected from your soul, from that aspect of you that feels intangible, larger than life, and connected to like the more ethereal, esoteric realms of existence that we don't always tap into on a regular basis in this reality. Whatever your beliefs, it doesn't matter. We're tapping into that concept of the deeper essence of who you are, and the idea that you are something greater than what you experience on a regular basis, that is excited to be in this life and is excited to explore and experience, and maybe even has plans of its own that are your plans, but you may or may not always feel connected to that part of you on like a deep level. So that's what we're doing. We're bringing you deeper into connection with your soul, whatever that means to you. So let's just get into the brief centering exercise that I always like to do at the beginning of these readings, which is a kind of meditative practice. It's just a few minutes long where we just sit together and we get in touch with our intuition on a deeper level so that we can make sure that you're really ready to receive the messages that are meant for you. You're easily able to discern what messages are for you and what aren't. And also just like take a few moments to sit with yourself and relax. That's what this is all about. So if you want to join me for that, stick around. If you want to skip ahead to the group selection, you can skip ahead. The timestamps are in the description. And if you want to skip ahead to your reading because you already know which one you want to do and you're like, let's get to it, I mean, you can do that too if you want. So let's just settle in for the brief centering exercise. Now, I will ask that if you are currently driving or doing anything where you need to pay attention, that you sit this one out, because I'm going to be asking you to get comfortable and also close your eyes if you want to do so. So you probably want to keep your eyes on the road, you know what I'm saying? But for those of you who are joining me right now, let's get comfortable. And if you feel called to do so, you may close your eyes. And let's set the intention right now to get in touch with each of our souls. So whether you're practiced at communicating with your soul, or that's a new concept for you and you're not even sure if you believe in the concept of a soul, doesn't matter. You can consider it a thought experiment or a meditation. And whatever the case may be, keep an open mind and just notice what you feel and what you experience in your body as we do this. So you might want to start by turning your attention to your breathing as you listen to me talk. And as you inhale, imagine that you're inhaling nice, cleansing, light energy. And as you exhale, you're exhaling anything that you're ready to let go of. Doesn't have to be anything that you're aware of, just anything that you're ready to let go of, and sinking more and more into the surface that you're resting upon, feeling more and more supported and relaxed and grounded, connected with the earth that is underneath all of us, or most likely underneath all of us at this time. And as you settle in, let's bring up that intention to connect with your soul. You don't have to know what that means. Just say, I intend right now to connect with my soul. and notice if you feel anything, if you see anything, if anything comes to mind when you set that intention. And let whatever does come up be, even if it feels like it's nothing. If you feel called to make any noises or movements, you can also do that. Sometimes when I'm doing this kind of thing, I notice myself swaying from side to side, and I let that happen. So you feel free to do whatever you want to do. You are free to forge a deeper connection with yourself, with who you truly are, with any intentions that you have for this life, whether they were developed for you before you came into this lifetime, or they're something you've developed now in the present moment. Just know that as you set the intention to connect more deeply with yourself, you might be surprised about what comes up for you. But you might also feel a deep sense of confirmation, of knowing, of acknowledgement, and you can use that deeper sense that you feel to guide you throughout your entire life. Because whenever you feel it, it's undeniable, and that, to me, is your soul speaking to you. So you may, at this time, as you're feeling relaxed, on a subconscious or conscious level, connect with a time in your life where you felt a deeper sense of knowing, or a sense of rightness about a decision you made, about an identity that you held, about a person that you met. And know that that deeper sense of knowing in some way or another was your soul. And while your mind may interpret those events in different ways, that could lead you to believe many different things about what your soul was saying to you at that time, the feeling in and of itself was real, was true. And the more that you connect with that feeling within you, and the more open-minded you are to what it means and where it's actually leading you and the adventure that you're on, the more aligned you'll feel with whatever comes up in your life and whatever decisions you make from that space. And also know that you can connect with yourself at any time, in any way, in any place, and just be present in your experience and know that that's exactly where your soul and you are meant to be, where you want to be, and you can just enjoy that feeling. That where you are right now is exactly where you're meant to be, and you know it, and you can just decide to know it. And now you may set the intention to connect with your soul throughout the reading so that when you select your group, you will know which group is yours. You will also know if you need to change your mind about a group, or you will also know which messages are meant for you and which aren't. And so set that intention, claim it, and let it go. And if you feel like you want to sit in meditation for a little while longer, feel free to pause the video and come back. But if you're ready to move into the group selection, where I will also explain how this reading is going to be structured, then you can join me there now. Okay, so thank you to all those who joined me for the brief centering exercise, and to all those who are just here now without doing that. It doesn't matter. I'm happy to have you here regardless. And I am going to get into the group selection here and talk a little bit more about how I structured this reading. So as you can see, we have 4 groups for you today, and I have set up these bird cards for you to choose your group. And I set the intention that these bird cards would represent something about your soul that your soul wants to communicate with you. You don't have to know what that is yet. Maybe some of you automatically feel really drawn to like one bird or another, or there are certain signs that certain birds mean for you. You can always go based on that. If you have an inexplicable pull to a group, go with that. Trust your intuition. You can always pick more than one group, and you can always change your mind about a group. Doesn't matter. Just know that you will know what is meant for you and what is not. So I am going to, once we get into the reading, talk more about these bird cards. Each group got 2. I'm only using one here for you to choose, but each group got 2, so in the reading I will talk about both. Then I will get an Astro Oracle card for each group to represent more about what your soul is currently excited about in your current life. And it could be something that you are already in the midst of at the moment, or it could be a new chapter that's approaching you very soon. So just stay open to the messages. And then I'll get some tarot cards to get more information and clarification and messages from your soul, and close out with some advice on how to connect more deeply with your sense of excitement and intrigue with regards to your current life and existence, right? Because your soul is like the part of you that's infinite and very curious and delighted to have the experiences that you're having in your own unique way, whatever way your soul expresses that. So we'll get some advice on how to connect more deeply with that on a regular basis. So let's get into it. So first of all, we have group 1 represented by Wren with Be Bold and Resourceful. We have group 2 with Hummingbird, Dreams and New Joy within Reach. We have Finch, Activity Increases. And we have Hawk, Guardianship and Vision Strong. So take a moment, pause the video, do what you need to do, select your group, and the timestamps are in the pinned comment and the description, so mosey on down there once you know which group is for you, and I will see you over in your reading. Hi group 1, if you selected Wren with Be Bold and Resourceful, then you are in the right place, and this is your reading all about your soul's greatest excitement in your life at this time. And so I discussed more about like the concept of a soul and everything in the intro, in the even in the brief centering exercise, and a bit in the group selection probably. So if you want to hear more about that and you skip that, go back there. But I do want to briefly say that when we talk about soul, it could be anything that you associate with that word. But my intention is the kind of infinite essence of you, the sort of bigger, broader being that exists within and beyond your current reality. So it's you, but bigger. It's you, but a part of you that's not only exclusively focused in your current time-space reality. You know what I mean? So it has like a kind of that broader perspective, and is connected with even the concept of past lives and other lives that you or your soul has led, and the greater cosmos and all of that. And from that perspective, it can be really interesting to tap into the soul and the idea of the soul's intentions and what the soul is really excited about and wants to explore in this lifetime, that sometimes in our 3D reality, in our immediate everyday day-to-day, we're either not so excited about or we just don't like connect with. So this is a special time to connect with that part of yourself, especially if you don't do that on a regular basis. But even if you do, it can be nice to just get confirmation. So with that said, I do have these bird cards here, which I intended to be a representative of your soul, that your soul wants to express to you right now, that you wanted to present to yourself to teach you something about the essence of yourself. And also deliver any messages that the soul wants to get across to kick this reading off. So with Ren, we have be bold and resourceful, but you also got a second card because every group got a second card because the first group I pulled cards for decided 2 cards was the way to go, and every group after that also decided that, and I was like, sure, let's do it. So your second bird card is Duck. Seek emotional comfort and protection. Yes, and so we have Ren and Duck, and I love how they're facing opposite ways because it's almost like in this case, your soul is seeking a balance, is wanting you to seek a balance between your boldness and your kind of go-getter attitude. Whether you identify with that or not, your soul is bringing up this part of you, this part of yourself that is a go-getter, that is bold and resourceful, and that I feel like can make something out of anything. Specifically, I'm getting the sentence, make something beautiful out of anything. So even difficult or quote-unquote negative experiences can become really beautiful ones to your soul. And that is a really important and intrinsic part of you, and one that you may or may not recognize about yourself. I feel for most people here, because this is the card that called you in, you can recognize that as a theme in yourself and in your life now. But with Duck being this also important part of yourself that your soul wants to bring up and even maybe explore deeper, is this aspect of seeking emotional comfort and protection. So this idea that while you are emboldened to create beauty out of even difficult circumstances, that doesn't mean that you can't also seek protection and comfort and safety, especially emotionally. I'm getting the feeling of like an artist who thinks that they need to have like a tumultuous life or love life in order to have things to write about and things to express about, right? You don't have to identify with being an artist, but it's kind of like that idea that like, oh, in order to experience beauty, I need to experience pain and I need to go through the suffering alone and like go it alone and all that. And I feel like an aspect of this lifetime that's important to your soul is being able to acknowledge and laud your ability to turn pain and suffering or turn difficulty into beauty, into constructive things, to be very emotionally resourceful in a way that I feel like you are, and yet also learn the value, build the skill of being able to find emotional comfort, seek emotional connection even with others in a way that brings you more peace, and to find a way to continue to maintain your sense of self, to maintain your sense of integrity, even in settings where you don't need to be constantly like, I just heard on the move, or constantly like transmuting things in your life from like negative to positive, like where you don't feel like that's your everyday constant struggle, because you're ready to embrace the idea that there's also beauty in comfort, beauty in protection, and even creative potential from that space that you're ready to access and that you're ready to move into more. So that is a starting message from your soul. And we're just going to, we're going to get into now what aspect of your current life that your soul is really excited about exploring, that your soul is really excited that you're doing. And that could be part of that message, or it could just be like a separate thing that your soul really wanted to bring up before we get into the rest of it. We shall see. But let's get into it by first pulling some astrological oracle cards to get a better idea about what exactly your soul is most excited about right now in your life, that's happening right now in your life, or will be happening very soon in your life. And then we'll get some tarot cards from this Dungeons & Dragons tarot deck to get more information about that. So let's see. Okay. We've got 12th house, introspection. And then I'll pull one more astro oracle card. We have 6th house, sustainability. Okay. Yeah. All right. So 12th house, introspection. 6th house, sustainability. And wow, isn't this fascinating that, I mean, maybe actually it's possible that all of the house cards, all the houses, because these are both houses. So you got 2 houses, astrological houses. If you're not familiar with astrology, don't worry, I'll talk about it. But it's just interesting because both of these cards have the chakra system represented on them. And I'm like, not actually sure if that's just all of the house cards or if that's, no, yeah, I think that's unique to these 2. So the fact that you got 2 cards that have the chakra system represented on them, there's some kind of like realignment that's happening for you right now, physically even, maybe even in your body, and in your emotional body, which might be why this duck card is here, because one thing that your soul is really excited about right now is some kind of emotional realignment that you're going through. And it's maybe requiring a lot of introspection. For some of you, I could definitely see this be a group where you recently started maybe you started going to therapy, or you started a new like self-help program, or you discovered a new book that's really speaking to some part of your psyche, right? Maybe you just started a journey of deeper self-evaluation, of introspection, of learning who you are, going within more, which could be where this message about, you know, your boldness and resourcefulness alongside your need to seek emotional comfort and protection is coming through, because you could be in this place where you have come to realize that you're ready for a shift, that a shift is happening within you with how you handle hardship, how you handle emotions, that's requiring you to seek more emotional stability, more stability within yourself, more groundedness, more connection with yourself, that doesn't require you to be so focused on managing the external world and on transforming the world around you, creating beauty everywhere. You're turning that within yourself now. You're creating that beauty within yourself, which is very beautiful. So to go deeper into these cards, first of all, with the 12th house, and it's like 12th house and 6th house, and like 6th house is, well, 6 is half of 12. I don't know, I just feel like that's definitely significant here. The numbers also, 6, 12, 3, 5, 44, 8, 50 could all be important or significant to you, so take that as confirmation if that's the case. So I get that this makes so much sense. So we're finding a balance between the 12th house, which is like deep subconscious, like hidden, the things that are hidden within us. It's our unconscious mind, our memory, our secrets. It could be institutions, the things that take us away from everyday life, that the more esoteric things that aren't grounded in our everyday reality, or like institutions in the sense of like, say you go off to a university to study and you're kind of in that like university bubble, right? That takes you away from like the everyday life of everyone else who's like working and living outside of that bubble. Or if you, on a different note, go to stay in a hospital or a mental institution, right? That takes you away from everyday life. You're out of the kind of hustle and bustle that most other people around are experiencing. You're in a different environment. And then also, of course, the parts within you, if you're exploring within yourself, if you're spending a lot of time introspecting, you're not as connected with the external world. You're not as connected with the daily life that you might normally be a part of. Like, if you've got a really packed schedule, you're not spending a lot of time introspecting, you're not spending a lot of time in your inner world. And so then when you do take the time to spend time in your inner world, you're disconnecting from all that energy around you. You're disconnecting from other people. You're disconnecting from the rest of the world. And you're connecting with something else, something less tangible, but also something very real and very true that's within you. That's just as expansive, if not more, than the world that you could explore outside of yourself. And it's also connected to that world. And then we have the 6th house with sustainability, which is about your daily work. It's about service. It's about your health. It's about your day-to-day, the ways that you take care of yourself. And so there's definitely some kind of like leveling up that's happening in your personal health that has to do with your mental and emotional health as well. And so I don't know if you experience any kind of physical symptoms that are maybe related to mental health struggles or emotional health. I, for one, am someone who's experienced the kind of physical ramifications of like emotional and mental distress. And I experienced that at a younger age, so I was very aware of the connection between like physical pain and emotional pain and mental pain. Like it's all part of the same system. You know, it's not like mental health is one thing and then physical health is another. It's like it's all connected, right? So you might be kind of bringing those two things together in your life right now, realizing how those things are connected. And your soul's really excited about that realization. It's really excited to explore that. For some of you, maybe you're getting into, like I said, therapy or something like that. Some of you might be getting into like body work, massage, somatic healing, things like that. Maybe some of you are actually like in some kind of physical or, like I said, mental, emotional therapy. And your soul's actually really excited about that. Even if it's come from a space of getting injured or having a tough, difficult time, your soul is really excited for you to be exploring taking care of yourself of the deeper, you learning about the deeper and connecting with the deeper emotional, mental, unconscious, secret parts of yourselves, getting connected with that, maybe even connecting with your soul itself from that way, like from that perspective, consciously and with more awareness than you did before. And also like connecting that with your physical life and how you take care of yourself on a day-to-day basis. Like, you know, if you're getting more into health and exercise and it's bringing those two aspects of life together. Yeah. And so if that's something that you've been doing or something that you've been feeling the urge to do or feeling pushed towards, or maybe even feeling is necessary for you, do it because your soul is really excited about that. That's a part of your intention. And so that's the reason it's coming to the forefront for you right now. I love that. If for some of you, if you've been learning about the chakra system specifically as like a way of relating to energy and the body and emotions, your soul's really excited about that exploration. If you don't know that much about it, but you're curious, that might be where your soul is asking you to look right now, because it might help you through this sort of exploration that you're doing within yourself. So now, okay, Group 1 soul just threw a card on the floor. Thank you. Guess I'm getting a little bit of a workout too, bending down and all that. I'm gonna get a few more cards as well to just get some more messages from your soul. What does your soul really want you to know right now about what it's excited about your life right now, what's going on, and how you on a deeper level actually feel about it. I don't want to cover anything up, but like I want to have room. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Let's do it like that. All right, Group 1 soul. Okay. So we have so far the 6 of Strength, which is the 6 of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. We have the 7 of Intelligence, which is the 7 of Swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. We have the Strength card, which is the Strength card. And let's see, one more. Do you have any more messages for Group 1? Group 1 soul? We have the King of Strength, or the King of Wands. Okay. 7 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So I just want to say that this is a process that might require patience from you, but also might be an opportunity to cultivate patience, which with this person over here really meditating with the 6th house, I feel like, yeah, you're learning to really sit with yourself. You're learning to really sit still more than you maybe ever were able to in your life. And when I say sit still, it doesn't even have to be like literally sitting still, although for some of you that will be beneficial. It could be finding a way to connect with your inner life and to still your inner world and your like emotions in a way that works for you, even if that is not sitting still. Like everyone's different, so sometimes sitting still really is not the way. It's not maybe what you need in the moment to actually connect with yourself and to actually still your body. It might require some movement. It might require some deliberate, conscious movement. It might require some energetic release, something like that helps clear out some of the energy that you might be, especially if you're like, really high strung, you've got a lot of anxiety or a lot of energy, clearing some of that out through certain movement, through exercise, through different techniques might help settle you, still you, and help you connect more deeply within. It's not just sitting in meditation that can do that, but I think regardless of how you do it, you are coming to a place of deeper stillness within. Yeah, your soul's really excited because I feel like you're going to connect more with more of you. Because your soul is you, remember? Like we're talking about it like it's separate, but it is you. So you're just connecting with more of yourself. You're starting to understand your depth as an actual being and how you goes deeper than and goes beyond the identities that you've maybe grown throughout your life, throughout this lifetime. You're starting to get in touch with this sense of something greater, this sense of something deeper, this sense of something more. So first of all, to elaborate on the tarot cards that we pulled from your soul, with the Six of Strength, or Six of Wands, your soul is considering whatever you're dealing with, whatever is bringing you to this place, whatever place that you've, however you've been exploring this so far, or you're embarking on this journey of exploration on a deeper level, your soul is considering this a victory. Your soul wants to recognize that your soul is really excited about this, because your soul being you is like, yes, this is like what I want to do. This is what I want to explore. And your soul's very proud of whatever you've done so far, whoever you are, whoever you've become. They're like, yes. I got this sense of like, oh yes, my pet project is coming alive. It's working. It's doing what I want it to do. So keep that in mind. If you're someone who maybe doesn't feel like you're a work in progress. And that's the thing, is like, when I say work in progress, it's like, that can have not negative connotations, but the connotations of like, oh, I'm unfinished, I'm incomplete. But when I said work in progress, I got the sense that like, that's actually a good thing in terms of like something that's progressing, moving forward, right? Your soul is really excited about progressing. There's something about progressing in some way that's really important to your soul. And so progress, it's not the implication that before you were worse or before you were incomplete. It's more just like, this is the direction I want to go in. I want to explore more. I want to change. I want to see how deep I can get. And so your soul is like really excited about that. So if you're not feeling so hot about how you're doing right now, maybe you're not feeling that progress, or you see it differently, there is a part of you, there's that part of yourself that's really actually very into where you're at right now and is proud of it, is excited about it, and is celebrating it. With the Seven of Intelligence here, well, there's definitely, I'm connecting that a lot with the 12th house in terms of it can be about secrets, and the Seven of Intelligence can also be about secrets. You see this person's wearing a mask. They're mysterious. I feel like you're very bold and resourceful, maybe in your outer environment, and I feel like you can turn that boldness and resourcefulness inward as well and excavate some of your secrets, some of the things that you haven't explored yet within you, the things that have made you identify as who you are in this lifetime, but also, depending on how deep you're going to get, things that go beyond this lifetime, things that go beyond your current known existence, right? Your soul is like, let's pull back. Let's take off the mask. Let's pull back the curtain and let's take a look. Let's see. Let's explore. Let's use your ability to find the goodness and the beauty in the things in your life and in the world around you, and do that within. Create that within. Use that boldness to go within. And you're doing that in some respect, and your soul's super stoked about it. With strength, too, you're learning a very important lesson about true strength, and how true strength is not always, it's not about suppressing emotion. It's not about hiding emotion. It's not about carrying on and going it alone because you're too afraid to let anyone else see the truth of what you're feeling and experiencing. Seeking the comfort and protection that you desire, seeking comfort and protection because you know you need that in order to grow, in order to progress, is strength. There is strength in feeling. There is strength in asking for help. There is so much strength in that sometimes it can feel easier, quote unquote, to not do that because you are afraid to face yourself. You're afraid to face someone else. You're afraid to let someone else in. But there's a lot of strength in doing that. And also, the traditional strength card shows a woman taming a lion, right? And I see that as a representative of the experience of taming, like, the beast within, taming the inner, like, working with the more, it's kind of like almost like the soul, the spiritual, the non-physical aspects of yourself, working with the physical aspects of yourself, right? Like the spiritual and esoteric parts of yourself working together with the survival instinct, animalistic, animal parts of yourself, right? So it's like those two things coming together and working in tandem with one another. And that's where this exploration into how you can become a more emotionally comfortable person, someone who's more in touch with your feelings and the deeper parts of you, that's where it's bringing together your spiritual self, your non-physical self, and your physical self, your matter self, your survivalist self, your animal self, right? It's your soul and your body working together. Yeah, that's what this is about. Your soul is really excited about the gap that's closing between your physical reality and your non-physical reality, and how that's coming together, how you're bringing those two things together and bringing them into alignment so that you can have a more comfortable lived experience, because a comfortable lived experience is less about only comfortable or good things happening in the world around you, and more about feeling aligned with your soul and yourself, like your body and your non-physical and your mental and your emotional, all of that coming together and working together and feeling true and authentic. Because you can feel a quote-unquote negative emotion like anger or grief, things that we've been taught to view as bad and painful and difficult. Well, they can be painful and difficult, but like we've been taught to view that as bad. But there's a way to experience that in a way that feels true and aligned and authentic and doesn't feel stifled and hard. And then there's a way to experience that in a way that you have so much resistance to it that it's even more painful, right? And I feel like you're learning to release that resistance to your animal side, to your emotional side, and you're learning to release resistance to your spiritual, esoteric, more expansive part, and you're bringing those two things together. We have strength and then the king of strength. You're becoming the king of strength. You're leveling up in your like autonomy, in like your emotional control, but like control from like a healthy place, not control from a domineering place, or control, like you're like, yeah, you're releasing old controlling patterns that you might have had when it came to your emotions and to your body and maybe even to your physical reality, and you're surrendering those to control over yourself, control over your personal health and body, not in a domineering or I don't know, like disciplinary way, but more in I acknowledge my power, I know my power. I'm getting more in touch with my power to be in an alignment. And it comes from a place of working with all the parts of me that seem like they're at odds, that seem like they're disconnected from one another, and realizing how they are all connected, how they are all able to work together, how I can align all of the parts of myself that I might have once treated as separate. Yeah, that's so cool. And you're becoming even more powerful, you're becoming even stronger because of that. Your soul is so excited about that. So, okay. I loved all these messages. So one thing I'm going to do to close out is just get like a last... I wanted to get like a last bit of advice on how to deeper connect with your soul. And I don't know, I'm feeling the urge to bring out the song cards. So we're going to do that. We're going to see how that goes. So group 1 soul, how can group 1 more regularly connect with you and connect with your sense of excitement? How can you connect with you on a deeper level? How can you connect with this feeling of excitement of like, yes, this is where we're meant to be and this is what we're meant to exploring, and just feel more like themselves? Okay, we've got Meant to Live by Switchfoot and Learn to Let Go by Kesha. So we were meant to live for so much more. Have we lost ourselves? Somewhere we live inside, somewhere we live inside. Yeah, keep exploring within. Keep going within. Keep, and I say keep doing this. Maybe you haven't started yet. It's time to start. Or you feel like you haven't started yet. Maybe you haven't done as much introspection. Yeah, introspection, going within, being bold and brave enough to learn yourself, to explore the hidden worlds that are within you, to explore your deeper secrets, to explore things that honestly, yeah, might sometimes feel scary to explore or might be difficult to explore, but you've done it enough on the outside. Like, I feel like you've explored enough in your life, in the things you've been through in the exterior. Nothing within is going to be harder than that. Like, it's like, because of what you've already done and what you've already been through, like, you've developed a lot of skills and abilities to handle certain things. You can turn that within now. You can bring that with you and be brave, be bold, and Learn to Let Go by Kesha as well. I think it's time to practice what I preach, exercise the demons inside me. Gotta learn to let it go. The past can't haunt me if I don't let it. Live and learn and never forget it. Gotta learn to let it go. Yeah. So that you can take that very directly. Letting go of, especially like if you want to connect more with your soul, the part of you that's expansive and kind of contains all of who you've ever been and all of who you will be, then you let go of your attachment to certain identities that are smaller than what you actually are. Because what you actually are is bigger than any identity that you could hold. And so that doesn't mean that you don't hold an identity for, a certain amount of time, or when you're doing a certain thing or activity or interacting in a certain way with someone else in your life. But it does mean that you know that that's ultimately not the complete true picture of who you are. And there might be some identities that are harder to let go of because they feed into a story that's really rooted in something that you're maybe very attached to. It could be even some trauma that's really like still in your body, still in your nervous system. So yeah, somatic healing could be really big for some of you. That's coming through a lot. And so working with someone, even I think reaching out to, there might be people who you can reach out to and work with that can help you with this process at this time. But letting that go, learning how to release certain emotions and certain patterns and things from your physical as well as your emotional field will help you connect more deeply with your soul, with your sense of excitement. And so you can know that when old patterns or when trauma responses are coming up, that's not who you are. It's what you're experiencing in the moment. There's nothing wrong with it, in that there's nothing wrong with you for having these experiences, and you don't need to rush to remove anything, but it's more like knowing that you can intentionally do so, that you're ready to do so, that you're ready to unmask and uncover certain things that might have been controlling your life for a long time. that are just not aligned with you at this time and that you're ready to let go of. And also just know, like, none of anything that's ever happened to you defines you. It's part of your experience. It's something that you can acknowledge, can work through, can work with, but it is not you. It's not the essence of you. And that will help you let go enough to feel more connected with the deeper part of you. And I'm saying this because whoever you are, that's what you're either doing right now or you're about to start doing, step into more. And that's really exciting for you. Your soul's really excited about it. So, yeah. And one last thing I want to say before I close this out is I'm just drawn to how this card is in black and white, meant to live, and then how learn to let go is in rainbow in color. And so I feel like there's a bit of a metaphor there where we're going from something a little bit more black and white, maybe in how we thought or approached the world, to something a little bit more colorful. And it's also speaking to the rainbow of the chakras, and the ways that those are kind of representative of all the different, you can kind of think of it like your body is not just your head or your heart or your arms or whatever. Your body is all these different parts that have their own different agendas and different skills and abilities that come together to make to make your body a whole thing. And just like that, your soul is like all these different things, all these different experiences, all these different energies, some that you've probably not been aware of, that come together to make you, right? And so you can get more in touch with, rather than a black and white understanding of yourself in the world, you're getting in touch with a more colorful understanding of the world that is multifaceted, and then that leaves room and expands to contain all of that which you are, which is more than just I'm this and I'm not that. It's like I'm this and I'm that 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 ad infinitum. And so you can draw on all these different aspects of yourself in a way that expands your perspective on life and who you are, but in doing so also remains grounded in who you're meant to be in this moment. And I can't really get into who that is because I feel like that's part of your journey. That's what you're learning. I can't really uncover those secrets for you. You got to do it yourself. So that's part of, the excitement of this journey. So that's pretty cool. And that's all we've got. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you feel a little bit more connected with yourself. I hope that you can tap into that soul excitement and be excited about this as well. Thanks so much for watching. If you are interested in a personal reading, we do offer those on our website, sunflowerphilosophy.com, link in the description. And if you're interested in hypnosis or human design, those are also available on our website as well. We do work with those tools as well. So you can feel free to check that out. Please like, comment, subscribe. I would love to hear how this resonated, and have a wonderful life. I will see you in another reading again sometime very soon. Bye. Hi Group 2, if you selected the Hummingbird card, then you're in the right place, and this is your reading all about what your soul is most excited about in your life right now. And this could be things that you're going through right now, or that are happening in your life right now, or that will be happening soon, or things that are coming in. We'll see when the messages come out, but I did intend for the bird card that you chose to represent an aspect of your soul that your soul wants to bring to your attention, or even a message that wants to come through. Also, when we talk about the soul, I talked a little bit about more what that means in the intro and all that. So if you want to go back there and listen to that, if you didn't, then you might get a better idea of where I'm coming from. I do intend that it can really resonate with you however you define the soul. I am taking it as the kind of more expansive, esoteric part of you that is contains all of your experiences in this lifetime and potentially others, and is maybe even has an agenda for this lifetime, that you are one facet of it that's playing out, right? And so we're tapping into that kind of broader perspective and the excitement of experience and exploration. And we're seeing what in your life right now is really speaking to that broader part of you, that you're really, really excited about. So let's see. And remember, this is you that we're talking to, right? Your soul is you. It's just a part of you that's more expanded than the like one little like focused point of consciousness that you have coagulated into in this reality. If that makes sense. So, all right. So yeah. So let's talk about your bird cards. So every group got 2 cards. I intended to just get 1, but every group wanted 2. So I was like, all right, I'll let it happen. So first, obviously, we have Hummingbird with dreams and new joy within reach. And then your second bird card is Penguin, trust in your dreams. And wow, look at that. Both cards are about dreams. So your soul is really excited about some kind of either exploration of or realizing of a certain dream that you have, and then whatever that dream is that you have is shared by your soul. And that's usually going to be true, I would imagine, but I also feel like maybe sometimes, listen, you know what? I don't know all the secrets of the universe, okay? So I can only speculate. But I imagine that, sometimes you might develop new dreams throughout a lifetime. I feel like whatever is happening right now, though, is a dream of your soul. I'm even getting the quote from, if anyone here has ever read The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare, there's a character who writes in a love letter to his love interest, you were the last dream of my soul. Or I don't remember, or maybe he changes it to like, you were the first dream of my soul. I think he's quoting, like, he might be quoting Dickens, and so he changes the wording a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. That could be significant to you. You could find a message in that. Maybe those books mean something to you, or you're interested in reading those books. But yeah, there's some dream of your soul that you're realizing right now, that you're experiencing, and your soul is so excited about that. And it might be something that hasn't fully come into fruition. You might be working towards that. And so this is your message to trust in your dreams and to let you know that this dream is within reach. And I just heard you're not going to mess it up. So your soul is so excited about that because you're not going to mess it up. Even if something doesn't go exactly the way that you think it should go, your soul is like, nah, we got this on lock. Like, however it happens for a reason. And I am beyond excited about it. That's what I'm feeling right now. Ooh, okay. So let's get a little bit more information. I'm going to pull some astrological oracle cards and then get some tarot cards for more information. And then we'll close out with some advice on how to connect more deeply and more regularly with your soul and with your sense of excitement with some song cards. So let's first find out more about what is so exciting to your soul right now about your current life. And just so you know, also, like, I feel like for this group, you might have some big dreams. A lot of you might resonate with the idea of having big dreams and chasing them. But I also feel called to say that a big dream for your soul doesn't necessarily have to be what we would traditionally consider a big dream in this life. You know what I mean? So, like, your soul's biggest dream could be, oh my God, like, let me open up, like, my own, like, little Etsy store. And while I think that's an amazing, beautiful, big dream, that might not be considered a big dream by, like, the broader society of, like, well, you could also, like, dream about having a yacht or dream about, like, having a Nobel Prize. But, like, and someone might see that as a bigger dream. But, like, your soul's biggest dream might be, like, oh my God, Etsy shop, selling scarves. And that is beautiful to me. Beautiful big dream. No less valid than any of the other ones I talked about. But just so you know, your soul's big dream doesn't have to be like something that is considered on like a 3D reality level a quote unquote big dream. It could even literally just be like finding the perfect book that you love so much, getting really into it. Like, it could be really literally anything. But yeah, it's definitely something that you've been working towards realizing, or you're getting close to realizing, though, because we have this dreams and new joy are within reach and trust in your dreams. And I do feel like for a lot of you, no matter what the broader perspective on your dream is, it's something that you have felt at some point or another was out of reach, that you've had to work towards. So again, doesn't matter what it is. I feel like you've been working towards it. So, okay. We did get a astrology card. We got the South Node with past. And what else can you tell us, Group 2's soul, about what you're so excited about in... Okay, yeah. All right. Actually, you got 2 here. So that, yeah, I'll take both. Okay. So we have South Node. I'm going to move these over so that we can fit these in with past and number 33. So the number 3 or 6 could be really significant. And we have progressions with the word journey and number 56. So number 56, number 11, number 2 could be significant. And then we have number 46, 8th house, mystery, with numbers 4, 6, 46, 10, 1, also potentially important numbers. So take that as it resonates. But yeah, okay, so this makes sense because we have the past, the South Node past showing up over here, and then progressions and journey to mystery over here with the 8th house. So there's definitely, your soul is really excited about some kind of element of your past that you've either overcome, or for some of you, some element of your past that you're revisiting in a new way. So I'm getting this like feeling of, for those of you for whom the concept of past lives speaks to you, there could be something from even a past life that you're about to revisit in this current life and do in a new way, expand upon, and your soul's really excited about revisiting that. And it could just, I heard it could have to do with some kind of mystery schools. So if that's something that speaks to you, take that as a confirmation. Regardless of whether or not you resonate with the idea of past lives, it could also be something that was in your past that you let go of, or that you put aside for a time that you're revisiting now, and you're about to make progress on it. And you're about to go deeper with it. And then for some of you, and these could all apply to you, but this is the other storyline that's coming through, is there's something from your past that you're overcoming, moving on from, and you're progressing, you're starting a new journey, and you're progressing in a new direction, starting something new, and exploring something that you have not explored before. So either you're exploring something that you have explored before, but in a new way, you're going deeper with it, or you're exploring something entirely new, something that's a mystery to you, that is a new dream that your soul maybe hasn't explored before in previous lifetimes. Regardless, you're definitely making progress on something, and your soul is really excited about this journey that you're about to go on, but also the journey that you've been on. Like, I feel like something about the journey that you've been on to achieve a certain dream or goal, or to achieve some dream life or achievement that your soul has wanted to experience, like the journey in and of itself from past to present has been immeasurably fun and valuable for your soul, even if it hasn't always felt fun to you in your 3D present, right? But yeah, and I also feel like if you're about to embark on a new journey to achieve a certain dream, or you're about to achieve a new level in your life in some area, there's an element of mystery to what comes next. There's an element of mystery to what you'll explore next, or what it will lead you to, that your soul is really excited about. And so your soul also might be really excited about, if you feel like you don't know where something is going or how something is going to come about, the element of mystery is exciting to your soul. Your soul is like, yes, bring it on. Your soul might also be someone who's very excited by the concept of mystery. Maybe for some of you, very literally, you're like into mysteries or mystery stories. It does not have to be the case. You could be someone who's like terrified by mystery, but on some level, your soul is very excited about it. And so that's where there might be a gap that you can bridge between your present lived experience and the excitement that your soul feels. And in fact, for some of you, I'm hearing that sometimes you experience your soul's excitement as anxiety because of like the way your nervous system is wired and the way that you experience life. You might have a tendency to experience heightened emotion as anxiety. But sometimes that anxiety, especially if it's not about, something that like difficult that you've been through, that you're working through, or something that, especially if it's about your future and what's in store for you. If it's about mystery, if you have heightened anxiety around that, it might be like transferring your soul's excitement into anxiety. So just take that if it resonates, and that is something that you can shift the energy around if you set the intention to. And we'll ask about how to connect more authentically and expand more to connect with your soul on a deeper level later. But let's get more messages from the cards, from your soul. So group 2 soul. Okay, well, that exploded out all at once. Okay, so we have the 7 of Strength. That's the 7 of Wands in traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. We have the Queen of Intelligence, which is the Queen of Swords. Let me just see if I can get these in the frame. Okay. Queen of Swords. We have the Page of Charisma, which is the Page of Pentacles. We have Death. Yeah, that makes sense with the 8th house. And then we have another one with the Knight of Wisdom, which is the Knight of Cups. So let me arrange these a little bit more neatly. Can you see that? Yeah, okay, you can pretty much see them all. All right, so 7 of Strength, Queen of Intelligence, Page of Charisma. Okay, I'm seeing a little bit of a journey in these cards, to be honest. Which I guess I think definitely speaks to the journey that you've been on. I think something that excites your soul in general is your soul likes to live through the journey. Your soul likes the experience of the whole process, not just the achievement, not just the goal. Your soul likes to figure things out on its own and come to new perspectives on its own. So with the 7 of Strength here, I feel like there could have been a past tendency for you to feel like you really needed to force things. Maybe you even had some anger issues or aggression in your past, but if that's not quite so literal, it might just be more in your tendency to try to make certain things happen. Like maybe you have chased a dream before and were really trying too hard to make it unfold in a certain kind of way that wasn't working. And you learned from this with the Queen of Intelligence, and you might have even cut yourself off from that path for a while and maybe cut off certain opportunities because you were like, I'm not about that. But you definitely are very smart, very intelligent, and you learned from this experience. And you recently or are now embarking on the journey anew, or you're embarking on a new journey in a new way based on the things that you learned from your past. And this has brought about, I feel like you've bravely stepped or are bravely stepping into a new era of your life. And it's bringing about great transformation with Death here. And being like Death, I'm associating that with the 8th house because the 8th house is sometimes associated specifically with death and the occult and transformation, right? And that's what Death is about. Transformation and Scorpio even, like all that kind of thing. And it's bringing you to a new place of wisdom. Yes, you have gone through a transformation and maybe are still in the midst of it or about to embark on a new level of transformation that is bringing you greater wisdom. It's also like, I feel like this knight here is like all geared up. Like this person in the 7 of Strength, 7 of Wands back here, he doesn't have a helmet on. He's kind of like beating up these like weird reptile bird creatures with like, it looks like he's got like it looks like he's about to club one with like a drumstick, like a turkey leg. But then there's another one that's trying to eat it. Like he's like protecting his food, but he's also like, I don't know, he's like improvising weapons. He's under attack. He doesn't have a helmet on. It feels like he's kind of got like a lot of, like these creatures are like attacking him. Like there's a lot of aggression, but also like defensiveness in this. And also like a feeling like, he's working with scraps. He doesn't have all the protection he needs. He doesn't have all the knowledge he needs. He doesn't have what he needs. It's like kind of scary, and there's a lot of red there. There might have been a lot of anxiety. There might have been a lot of like feeling like you're under attack in the past. And now, and you might not have felt like you had the resources that you needed. But now, like going through this whole journey, this transformation, coming out the Knight of Wisdom, this knight is like all geared up. He's got a helmet, or I'm saying he, could be a she, we can't see, we can't tell, or they, or whatever. And it doesn't matter what gender you are, but this knight is all geared up. This knight is like bathed in like a golden light. This knight is walking through like a field of flowers too. And it's the Knight of Cups, you know, wisdom, emotional strength. And I feel like that's you coming out of this experience with more wisdom, with more strength, with more resources, with protections in place that will allow you to keep yourself safe through the journey while also feeling more free to experience all of the ups and downs of it, because you don't feel like you have to be quite so protective of yourself, because you have protections in place. Like you have a sturdy set of armor. So you can go into the battle and you can feel confident in yourself, or you can go into the experience and feel confident in yourself. And that's what this transformation is leading to, or has led to, that your soul is so excited about. That's what this realization of your dreams is about. And like your soul is really excited because through that journey, like back when you were in the 7 of Strength position, you learned a lot there. It was a valuable experience. I think that your soul did enjoy that to some degree, even if it was really difficult at the time for you. But it's also the fruits of that experience coming to pass, where now you're almost like reaching a new level or starting a new journey that you're more equipped for and are ready to go deeper with and ready to explore on a new level, because you have all this past transformation, this learning, this wisdom that you've gained, that you're ready to use in a new way, on a new level. And your soul's like super stoked about that. Hell yeah. And with the Page of Charisma here as well, I feel like you've got like this saber-toothed tiger and this little girl looking person. And it's like maybe you could think of it as like you and your soul, or even you and like a spirit guide or spirit animal, or however you want to think of it, like walking side by side, right? Like you're always together, like maybe even you, because it's under trust in your dreams, and it's like you trusting in yourself again, you trusting in maybe even your soul, or like in the universe, and taking a leap of faith that has led you to a new version of yourself, a new journey, a new dream, a new level. Yeah. And your soul's like, hey, I'm with you, buddy. I am you. But I'm also with you. You know what I mean? So let's get a song card or two to close out and get more information on how you can connect more deeply with your soul and with your soul's excitement for existence, for the world, for life. So group 2's soul, what closing advice do you have for group 3 with connecting with you on a deeper level? What do you got? Okay, and I'm gonna get one more. One more, group 2 soul. Okay. I'm gonna get one more. Yeah. I kind of thought this one was gonna come out again. It also came out in group 1. All right. I almost want to put it like this, because I feel like this is the most important one. So we first have The Night Does Not Belong to God by Sleep Token. You also might want to listen to these, because there might be some messages there that through the music and the lyrics that I don't cover, but this is The Night Does Not Belong to God by Sleep Token, and the lyric is, the night comes down like heaven. And this is, it's evoking for me right now the idea that sometimes we connect with ourselves, or connect with a spiritual idea, or connect with a certain lesson, and then we feel like we forget it, and then we have to relearn it again. And I feel like this is a reminder that anytime you feel that connection of like, oh yeah, oh yeah, like that, like, whoa, like, I forgot about this perspective. I forgot about this way of seeing things. I forgot about this spiritual lesson that I learned, right? And then you remember that. It's like that's you reconnecting with the more expansive part of you. That's you reconnecting with your soul. But it's also a reminder that no matter if you forget to connect with that deeper part of you, if you forget that you have that there's more to you than this human experience, it doesn't mean that it's not there. It's still there, even if you can't feel it. This is your soul's reminder that you're always connected to it. Like you can't physically disconnect. Like you are it. It is you. You are you. And so it's letting you know that even if you forget or you feel disconnected, you can never actually be disconnected. And to get in the practice of reminding yourself that, like, even if you can't feel it in the moment, start to remind yourself to train your subconscious mind to accept the fact that you are always connected to that more expansive part of you, and you don't have to always feel that, like, oh my god, like I feel it, I'm connected, like, you just are. It's just a fact. It just is. And that's all you need to know sometimes. Then we also have Again by Flyleaf, which says, I love the way that your heart breaks with every injustice and deadly fate, praying it all will be new and living like it all depends on you. I feel like your soul also wants you to realize that sometimes, like, especially if you're someone who cares very deeply about the world, about the state of the world, about injustice, about things that are going on around you, about pain and suffering, your soul wants you to know that that experience of deep emotion and caring for your fellow creatures and for the earth and for the world is part of your soul's experience as well. Like, your soul is there experiencing it with you. And that is something that, while your soul is simultaneously kind of tapped into a broader sense of existence where everything is, where maybe it has a bigger picture view of existence, that aspect that is tapped into, like, really caring about things and really being emotionally invested is also a part of it. Like, it also feels that, and it wants to say that that is a part of you that it loves and appreciates about about you and your specific experience of life. There's also perhaps a reminder in there as well, though, that you are not alone, and it does not all depend on you. Like, the weight of the world does not have to be on your shoulders, and maybe when you feel like that as well, you can set the intention to connect with that part of you, that soul part of you that's bigger than everything and anything that's happening around you and that's happened to you, right? That encompasses all of that, and that might have a new perspective to offer you on that as well. So there's both messages going on there of, like, yes, that's part of you and that's part of us and that's part of our experience, and that's one thing that I love about me and about you and about this experience. And then on the other hand, also, like, but you don't have to live in despair. You don't have to feel that you're alone. Again, like, you never are. I'm always with you in this. And with that page of charisma with the tiger companion, yeah, it's like your soul is always walking beside you. It's always walking with you. It's always within and without and all around you, All Around You by Flyleaf is also a song. I'm not as familiar with it, but could be another message for you. And then we also have Meant to Live by Switchfoot, which also came out in group 1. And I just kind of was getting it for this one too. So when it popped out again, I wasn't surprised. And this says, we were meant to live for so much more. Have we lost ourselves? Somewhere we live inside, somewhere we live inside. Which could be something that you've maybe felt, especially if you've gone through a big transformation, or if you're going through one now. You might feel lost at times. You might feel like you're disconnected from yourself. You might feel like you don't know where you're going. And the mystery of where you're at the moment or where you're headed might actually be stressful to you and might make you feel like you're not living up to your potential or you're not living up to your soul's expectations. Your soul wants to let you know that, no, this is part of the adventure. It's part of the journey, that you're right where you need to be. And there's a part of you that is really excited by this unknown, by this mystery. And you're here for that. You're living for that. And that connecting within, going within in times when you feel really overwhelmed by the mystery of life, and just listening and keeping an open mind and open heart, maybe just practicing things like meditation or anything that helps you quiet your mind, quiet your body. There might be some messages in group 1 that resonate with you as well, that this will help you connect more with that part of you, with your soul, and remind you again that you are not alone in this, that you are here for a reason, that there's a part of you that knows why you're here and that feels confident about where you are, even if the like more concentrated consciousness that you are currently inhabiting is not aware of it. And that can be accessed, but also maybe it's just enough to know that for now and not know how or why, but just trust it, right? Yeah. And so you can connect more deeply with your soul by getting acclimatized to the idea that maybe you are where you need to be, and maybe you don't need to know where everything is going, but you just know that your soul's got your back. So yeah, that is all we've got for this reading. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I would love to hear how this resonated. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are interested in a personal tarot reading, we do offer those on our website, sunflowerphilosophy.com. We also do hypnosis and human design. So if you want to engage with any of those services, also check that out on our website. And yeah, thanks so much for listening. Have a wonderful life, and I will see you in another reading again sometime very soon. Bye. Hi, Group 3. If you selected the Finch bird card, then you're in the right place, and this is your reading all about your soul's greatest excitement with regards to your current existence and life right now. And I did go over in the intro more about like how I conceptualize the soul, but I also intended to be really like any way that you relate to the concept of soul. But for me, it's like coming from the idea that like the soul is a broader, non-physical like aspect of who we are that's like expanded to encompass all of our experience and all of the experiences of potential past lives and other existences. And it's the part of you that maybe even has intentions in terms of what it wants to learn and explore in this lifetime. So it has like kind of a broader perspective, but it is also you at the same time. So that's what we're connecting with. And we're just seeing like, what about your current experience is your soul really excited about, and how can we connect you with that? And then also, yeah, I'll get advice towards the end where with what your soul wants you to know in terms of how you can connect more deeply with that part of you, with the broader part of you, and feel that excitement about life as well. So let's start we'll get into your bird cards. Every group got 2. Which is kind of fun because I only intended to get 1, but everyone wanted 2, and I was like, sure, I'll let you have it. And then we'll get into the Astro Oracle cards to get more about what exactly it is that your soul is excited about right now in your life, and then some tarot cards to get more about that, just any more messages related to that, and then we'll get some song cards to close out with some advice. And yeah, so before I even talk about your bird card, I didn't do this for the other groups, but when I was just like shuffling up your cards, I happened to like ask a question. I asked, how do you want to connect with group 3? Like I asked kind of other kinds of questions when I was getting into the zone for the other groups, but like this one really stuck out to me because as soon as I asked that, I got kind of like I didn't really get like a strong word or impression or anything like that, but I got like a little chuckle, like a sense of a feeling of good humor rose up in me. And I feel like this was your soul's way of saying that your soul really communicates with you through humor, through things that you find funny, through things that make you laugh, through things that surprise you even into laughter. So that is maybe a little sneak peek about how you can connect more deeply with your soul, is noticing things you find funny and noticing and recognizing that as your soul communicating with you in some way. So let's get into your bird card now. We have Finch with activity increases. That's the one you chose. And then we have Goose. I just got the word silly goose. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like your soul's like a little silly in a good way, in a really good way, in a fun way. And this says, pursue your quest. Okay. So one thing I feel like your soul is really excited about, and I didn't necessarily mean that, intend that these bird cards represent what your soul is excited about. It was kind of like, an element of you that your soul that your soul wants to bring to your attention. But I also feel like this is something your soul is excited about, is that if you've had a recent increase in like the amount of stuff going on in your life, the amount of activity you're experiencing, or the things that you're doing, your soul is really excited about that increase in activity. Your soul is really excited about any new activities that you're pursuing. Just doing more things, more stuff going on, especially if you went through a time where there wasn't a lot going on. Maybe you were taking a rest or things were a little bit stagnant. That was a necessary time, but now your soul is really excited about how things are getting more active. And your soul is, your soul also might want to let you know that as an important aspect of it and of you is having your fingers in a lot of pies is something I heard. Like, your soul likes to have a lot going on. So maybe your soul is someone who has a lot of different existences happening at the same time. And then again, what is time, right? Does that really exist? Maybe, isn't that like all of us? I don't know. I don't know all the secrets of the universe, but like, I feel like your soul is very active and likes to have a lot going on, or maybe that's an aspect of your lifetime that it is excited about experiencing. And with Goose, pursue your quest. I'm almost getting like that the animal, the goose, is more important than even just the wording of pursue your quest. Like, there's some kind of significance about geese for you in some way. But even if not, pursue your quest. I feel like your soul is like kind of lightheartedly encouraging you to like, yeah, like go for it. Go for your goals, pursue your quests, and maybe even take life less seriously, especially if you feel like you've been taking it very seriously lately. Your soul, I feel like, is a very silly kind of guy. And I say guy in a gender neutral way. Your soul is like not here to take things too seriously, or at least it wants to encourage you to lighten up. And I'm getting that because I'm almost feeling like it's framing the idea of you pursuing like dreams or goals, or like just pursuing your life path, as it's framing it as a quest. And that's putting me in mind of like fantasy, of like D&D, of like role-playing games and things like that. And so maybe it would be helpful for you right now to think of like, even if like it's just like something as simple as going to the store. Like maybe that's something that's hard for you, or just hasn't been something that you want to do, or maybe like you're just like, I don't know if I have time for this. It's like treating that as like a quest, or treating like even a big dream you have as like a quest where you're on an adventure. And so, and you can like even role play it a little bit with yourself, you know what I mean? Like, so that you take it a little bit less seriously, but at the same time, it almost allows you to go into it with more verve, with more excitement. I feel like out of all the groups so far, this group really wants you to feel excited about things right now. I'm getting like the feeling of like, you know, like if you are into adventure stories, you're not into adventure stories because the adventure is always easy. You're into adventure stories because of the adventure of it, the different places that characters go, the different people that characters meet, the different challenges that they engage with, and you're meant to look at your life in the same way, especially at this time. So that is some exciting advice from your soul. So with that, let's get into now more about what exactly your soul is so excited about in your current life. Maybe even things that are about to happen or come in. We'll see. Let's see. Group 3 soul. What are you most excited about in Group 3's existence right now? Ceres with Nurture, number 29, and Sun and Leo. Okay. Interesting. So you got 3 cards here. So we have Ceres with Nurture. Number 29 might be important to you. Number 11, number 2, 18, 9, 5, all those might be important to you. Numbers, so take that if it resonates. Ceres with Nurture, the Sun with Source, and Leo with Shine. Okay, so your soul is definitely excited about being seen, about shining your light, about your soul, like, with Sun and Leo. I mean, you might be a Leo, you might have your Sun in Leo. It doesn't have to be. There's definitely an element though of like you're shining your light, you're ready to be seen, you're proud. You're ready to radiate out. You're radiating like joy or love or like light or something valuable that you have to share with others, something about how you are and what you're providing to the world, or just like what you bring to life is really radiating out at this time. I feel like also your soul is really like, I feel like this, whatever light you're radiating out, it is nurturing the world. It's nurturing the planet. It's nurturing you and the people around you. I want to also, I haven't done this for the other groups, but I actually want to read a little bit about Ceres, because I'm not familiar with this one as much yet. Ceres, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, is a dwarf planet between Mars and Jupiter, named after Ceres, Roman goddess of the harvest, food, earth, fertility, and mother of Proserpina, goddess of the spring. When Pluto kidnapped Proserpina, or I guess Persephone, and took her to the underworld to be his queen. Oh, so Ceres is the Roman equivalent of Demeter. That makes a lot of sense. I was looking at that, I was like, that looks like, that's reminding me of Demeter. Yeah. Ceres threatened to starve the world until she was returned. Ceres signifies our relationship to food, for better or worse, cultivation, and the safety or loss of a child. Ceres' ancient rites initiated people into the secrets of death and rebirth through the symbolic harvest. Cut the heads off grain with a scythe, bury them, and a new life arises. Oh. Yes. Yes. Okay. I'm not going to read all of this, because I feel like we kind of got the main point, but if you want to pause this, screenshot it, and read what else there is in this booklet, you can do so. But I kind of want to just keep going from what we just uncovered. Ceres, it's about the harvest, the new life, sowing a new life. I feel like your soul's really excited because you have reached a new era of your life. I remember when I was saying before that you might have been coming out of a time of like a pause of not much action, maybe even taking a break or taking some time out, and your soul being excited about the new activity, but the feeling that that pause was necessary. This feels like this acknowledgement of the nurturing that you've done to sow a new life for yourself. It's like almost like you took a break, you took some space because you had a new idea of what you wanted to go, where you wanted to end up, maybe even like a project that you were working on or something that you are caring for. Maybe for some of you, you even are having children or something like that. That could be like literal in that sense of like you're taking the time to nurture and care for yourself and for like children. But your soul is really excited about the time that you've taken to create a new life for yourself. And it's almost like, I feel like this time of like, it's like the harvest is here. It's time for you to harvest the fruits of your labor. It's like you planted the new seeds and now they're growing. Now things are showing. Now things are starting to radiate out. Like the result of this time that you've taken to yourself, or the result of this time that you've spent caring for yourself or working on some project or creating something new, or even just creating a new life, it's starting to show. It's starting to become obvious and evident to the people around you. You're starting to be able to even share more. Like, even the example is coming to me of like someone who's taken the time to get their finances in order and like build up a lot of resources for themselves, and now they're able to sort of share that with others, in a charitable sense, in just like being generous with people around them because they have accumulated so much for themselves. And like, it's also something that functions on the level of energy, of like cultivating a certain amount of happiness and joy in your life and radiating that out into the lives of others. Like whatever it is, you've cultivated something for yourself, you've nurtured something for yourself, and now you're spreading it around. It's allowing you to, even like service, right? Like you've nurtured yourself and cared for yourself in a way, maybe even after some time of burnout, and you're ready to give back, you're ready to serve, you're ready to bring the nurturing that you've given to yourself to others. Yeah. And your soul's really excited about that. That does sound very exciting. So let's pull some cards and get a little bit more information from your soul about what they're so excited about with regards to this. So let's get more information. Group 3 soul. What are you so excited about right now in your life, in Group 3's life, in your life? What are you so excited about? I am going to, that's a lot that fell out at once. I'm going to give it another shuffle. If those cards need to fall out again, you know what to do. Group 3 soul. What are you so excited about? Or what further messages do you have for Group 3? Okay. I'll reposition that a bit better in a moment. King of Strength. Okay. I don't know. All right. 6 of Wisdom on the bottom of the deck, which is the 6 of Cups. Yeah, there's definitely that element of like fantasy of imagining yourself as like a questing knight, or like someone taking on some kind of role from like some kind of fantasy setting, or something like helping you maybe take your life or take your situation a little bit less seriously so that you can be more lighthearted and shine a little bit brighter in your day-to-day life without having so much because I feel like you're like maybe very service oriented, or you're very excited about what you can bring to other people. So it's like also encouraging you to not take your role so seriously that you burn yourself out or feel like you're not doing enough, or like feel like everything's dependent on you, right? Because when you are being very generous, when you feel like you have a lot to give, you might feel like everything depends on you. You have to be giving all the time. You have to be on all the time. And it's a reminder that rest is part of the journey, that when characters are on a quest in stories, sometimes they'll get injured, they'll get taken out of the battle, they'll have to go somewhere and heal, right? And you have maybe gone through a time where you had to do that, and you might have to do that again, but like you also don't have to go so hard or burn yourself out, right? Like you know how to nurture yourself and take care of yourself now, and that's just as important as whatever part of you is going out there and adventuring and being and mixing it up and like, you know, giving and stuff. With the 2 of Charisma, which is the 2 of Pentacles, in reverse, I feel like there's an acknowledgement that you've given up, like, or that you are being encouraged to give up juggling too much in the world around you, or juggling too many things at once. Or even this like element of like you're done studying, right? Because she's like studying, she's reading a book and she's studying magic. It's like you're done with the studying and trying to learn everything, and you're ready to do. You're ready to be that King of Strength. Like, see, he's like kind of got this this King of Wands here. King of Wands is like a doer. He's an actor, right? He acts. When I say actor, I mean like he acts. He's active. So you're done with the studying portion, and you're moving into the being and the doing of the King of Strength, King of Wands. With the 2 of Wisdom, which is also the 2 of Cups, you are engaging with others. Maybe you're engaging in partnership in a new way, whether in a business setting or a friendship setting or a romantic setting. You're bringing your gifts, you're bringing yourself to others, you're ready to bring what you've cultivated for yourself to other people and work with other people. With the 4 of Intelligence, which is also the 4 of Swords, well, yeah, this is, again, like we're coming back to that idea of rest, of just allowing yourself to be, of, like, I feel like the people in this Four of Intelligence, there's like these three adventurers sitting around a campfire, right? So they're taking their, like in D&D, like if you aren't familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, don't worry about it, but like there's the function of the game, because it's a game, there's a function of the game where you and the other characters have to take a rest in order to gain back your, you know, your hit points, your skills, your abilities and everything, so that you can go back out in an adventure the next day. And so it's that reminder that rest is just as valuable as activity. And I feel like you've probably learned that from your recent experiences or past experiences. But this is a reminder that that's still part of your journey going forward. So even if you're getting back out there after a time of maybe sitting on the sidelines or feeling like you've had to take a break, it's like, no, that's not over for you. That's something that you just have more naturally built into, or want to more naturally build into your life experience, so that you can sustain and maintain your light. And also a reminder that the sun is a stationary object, or, well, I think it is. I mean, I guess, aren't we all like kind of hurtling through space? But the sun doesn't need to move in order to radiate light, right? Like, and to give life to the earth. So you don't need to be on all the time and doing all the time in order to radiate your light. Like, so you can rest and take time out and know that, like, your existence is still giving, is still valuable in and of itself, just by existing, just by being. The sun just is, and it radiates that light that we get to sustain ourselves. And with Leo, and like, yeah, like shining, Leo, shining is not like an active thing. It's just like a thing that happens. So you just are shining. This Ace of Strength, Ace of Wands person is meditating here. And that meditation is tapping into this glowing yellow powerful energy. And so I feel like for you, like, cultivating your energy is really important, and part of doing that is, it's like you have learned, your soul is either excited because you have learned the power of rest, and like you've learned kind of how to harness something that seems like a very passive activity like meditation or rest into a powerful tool to cultivate and generate more energy. Like, you know the power of not doing or not forcing. You know the power of like even if you're like being of service to someone else, you know the power of sometimes just being present with someone else rather than trying to fix anything or do anything, just being present with someone's experience, just giving your energy and time to them. And in order to do that, you have to cultivate that. Like, sometimes you can be radiating out energy and intending to radiate out a certain kind of energy without actually doing anything, just sitting with yourself and being in that intention and being connected and present. And that's a reminder that, like, you learning that is important, and your soul's really excited about that, because it's actually, whether you recognize it or not, like, your energy is radiating out. Like, you are shining out into the universe and glowing and fulfilling your purpose in just your existence. Like, I feel like you've learned how to just be and trust that you are in your just being, in your connecting with yourself. You might be someone who is very connected with your soul. Whether you consciously know it or not, I feel like you are already quite aligned with your soul, and your soul is very excited about that. I feel like you might have gone through a time where you looked within and you spent a lot of time connecting more with yourself, and that has automatically aligned you more with your soul, so you're able to shine out more of your true essence to the world in a way that is very needed. Yeah. Oh, that's so exciting. And like, that time you've spent getting to know yourself means that you're ready to bring that to other people, connect with other people, which is why we have this Two of Cups here, because you've connected deeply with yourself. So I already got a card, but let's get one or two more from Group 3's Soul. What's a way that, again, that card came out in Group 2. I'll see if there's one more from Group 3's Soul. Give it one more shuffle. Group 3's Soul. Is there anything? Okay, sure. Group 1 only got 2, but it's because I just keep feeling like there's one more for these two. So that one, I think I didn't really feel that way, so that's why. So Group 3's Soul. We're talking about how group 3 can connect with you more fully, even though I said I feel like you are already pretty connected just by virtue of how you are in the world and how you've learned to connect with yourself. But we have Weight of Living Part 1 by Bastille. And the lyrics are, your albatross, let it go, your albatross, shoot it down, when you just can't shake the heavy weight of living, by Bastille. And I feel like this is something that you might already know how to do, you might have learned how to do. The concept of like, the song is really, to me, it's speaking to the experience of like having something hanging over your head, and instead of running away from it or avoiding it, you turn to face it. You shoot down your albatross, so to speak, so that you kind of bring, you're willing to face all the potential bad luck you could get, or the bad feeling, or the potential consequences, the consequences of your actions. You're ready to face those and accept responsibility for them and stand strong in that experience. King of Strength, you've garnered a lot of inner strength, so you know how to face the weight of the world. You know how to also release the weight of the world from your experience. And your soul is also reminding you as well that sometimes if you start to feel like the weight of the world is building up, maybe if you felt like you've had the weight of the world on your shoulders, your soul is here to carry that with you. Your soul is here to take that off your hands. Your soul is reminding you that you are bigger than the world. Like your soul is, you're part of something bigger, source even. You're part of all that is, and there's something that's more powerful than the weight of the world. That you have the strength to carry that, but you also don't have to carry it. You can even just like neutralize it. And we have the song again by Flyleaf, which says, I love the way that your heart breaks with every injustice and deadly fate, praying it all will be new and living like it all depends on you, which came out in group 2, like I said. And again, this is to me a song about like having the weight of the world on your shoulders, living like everything depends on you. A reminder that as much as it is exciting to be able to go out and share yourself with the world and help people and radiate your good energy, it doesn't all depend on you. So if you need to take a step back, you need to take a break, you have to also trust that like everything is like it's all good. Like you're still doing your part, other people are doing their part. You don't always have to know that you don't always have to know how things are supposed to go or how things are supposed to work out. Just trust that it doesn't all depend on you, you know? You are also just here to be. You're also just here to live. And in just being yourself, like that is helping the world become a quote unquote better place. You know, you're moving the world in a positive direction just by being you and having that intention. So you don't have to take the weight of the world onto yourself. But also, like with group 2, the care that you have for the world is part of you. It's part of your soul. That is part of you, and your soul feels that alongside you, and can like kind of hold you in that experience as well. And you can connect with your soul through asking for support during times when you feel that weight. Also, we have Chokehold by Sleep Token. When we were made, it was no accident. We were tangled up like branches in a flood. A reminder that your soul is, it's kind of like similar to group 2, that your soul is always with you, that you're inseparable, that it is you, that you are within it, you're part of it, and there's no separating that. So even when you feel separated, even when you feel alone, even when you just feel like you're just you in this existence and there's nothing else outside of that, and you have to do everything you can to survive, which, I don't know, I feel like for a lot of you, you might never feel that way again, but you also might be feeling that way right now. I don't know where you're at. I feel like you definitely are familiar with that feeling, though, even if you don't feel that way right now. But your soul is reminding you that that's an illusion. You're inseparable from it. It is always with you. And like I said at the beginning, your soul does connect with you through lightness, through humor. That doesn't mean that when you're not feeling those things, it's not with you. It is. And even if, and your soul is giving you permission and letting you know that it's okay to lighten up, to be silly, to be playful, to engage with things from a lighthearted perspective, even if there's heaviness that you've dealt with or that's going on around you. That's part of you and part of your experience, but you're also ready to be light about things. It's okay to be light about things. It's okay not to take things so seriously sometimes. And even when you don't feel that lightness, that heaviness is also something that it's not who you are, it's not the reality of experience, but it is part of experience, and your soul is still with you through that as well. So you can't be separated from it even when you feel like you are. Okay, that's all we've got. Last thing, I just want to note that all these song cards happen to be black and white, and I do feel like that speaks to the idea of lights shining in a darkness, your light being necessary in times of darkness, and they're, you might be seeing a lot of darkness happening on this earth right now. You are a light, and your existence is really important in being light and bringing balance to the world. So just being who you are is enough, and it's being seen, it's being heard, it's being felt. So that's all I've got. I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that you resonated with that. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how it did resonate or didn't. Just let me know. And if you are interested in a personal reading, you can definitely check that out on our website, sunflowerphilosophy.com, link in the description, as well as human design and hypnosis. We also offer those services as well. So feel free to check that out. Did I already say like, comment, and subscribe? I think I did. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful life, and I will see you in another reading again sometime very soon. Bye! Hi, Group 4. If you selected the Hawk card, Guardianship and Vision Strong, then you're in the right place, and this is your reading all about your soul's greatest excitement in your current life right now. And I did go into my conception of like the soul in the intro and all that whole beginning part. If you're interested, you can go back there. I guess I will say here, though, because I've been doing this for each group, that you can use any interpretation of soul that resonates with you. I'm going with the concept of like the part of you that encompasses your current existence and also potential other existences and past lives and things like that. And like this like you as a multidimensional being that has many existences and facets and identities, and like you are one part of that in your current iteration. And so the part of you that we're connecting with is you, but it's also like bigger than your current experience, and so has maybe a broader perspective and also maybe some intentions or specific desires or interests that it wants to explore through you and your specific experience. So we're just tapping into that part of you, and we're seeing what you're so excited about right now. And also, we're going to get into how you can, a little bit with how you can connect more deeply with your soul and your sense of excitement in life that your soul is feeling, especially if you don't normally do that, if you're not always connected with your soul, you feel like you don't connect with your soul. So we're going to first get into your bird cards. Then we're going to use the astrology cards to get more about what your soul is so excited about in your life, and then we'll get some tarot cards to get a little bit more information about that, and we'll close with some song cards. We'll close with some song cards with advice for connecting with your soul. So you got 2 bird cards. Every group did. I intended only to get the one to represent your soul and an aspect of your soul that your soul wants to bring forward to you, and also maybe a message for you. But then all of the groups were like, we want 2 cards. So I got 2 cards for each group. So your second bird card is preening. Attend to your own needs. Oh, I don't know why. I'm getting such a cute, like a soft energy here. So I feel like there's a few things going on here. One is your soul is maybe saying that it's like here for you right now. It's always here for you, but like it's this very caring energy. Like your soul is like, yeah, like I want to take care of you. Like you're like me, but you're also like a part of me, and you're a very special creation of me. You know what I mean? And so there's like a feeling of like preciousness, like, oh, like you're precious to your soul. But also this may be reflected in you and how you feel. Maybe you are experiencing the same kind of feeling about someone else in your life or other people. Like this guardianship and strong vision, like you're feeling a protective energy. Maybe you're someone who is very protective of the people that you care about. Maybe you are a parent. Maybe you identify as being like a provider in some way. An older sibling, a devoted partner, like anything like that. And so like that, your soul's feeling about you is also how you feel about other people. Oh, that's so sweet. So like when you're feeling that nurturing energy, when you're feeling that protectiveness, it's like that is how the broader aspect of you feels about you. So like that's not only like how you express towards others, it's also like how you express towards, it's like an inherent part of your soul, and also part of the experience that your soul is having through you in this lifetime. Wow, interesting. And with attend to your own needs, this is your soul wanting to take care of you the way that you take care of others. And also wanting you to be able to do that for yourself as well. Which could be something that you're learning to do now, or just you're being encouraged to remember to do. It's very sweet, though. It's very sweet. Especially if you are someone who's, like, taking care of someone else at this time. Which could be, like I said, like, maybe you have, like, children, or maybe there's someone that you're taking care of right now who's ill, or something like that, you know? So, whatever it is, I feel like it's in your nature to feel protective. But it's also important to take care of yourself, even when you're in that role for someone else. So let's get more into what your soul is excited about in your life right now that's going on, and get more insight into what it is that you're up to, or that is potentially coming into your life soon, depending on what messages come through. So Group 4 Soul. What are you most excited about in Group 4's life right now? Ooh, Aquarius. And let's get one more. One more. Send that out if it's Group 4 Soul. What are you excited about? One more. 8th house mystery. Okay. So Scorpio almost popped out before and it didn't, and I put it back. But then 8th house popped out, which is associated with Scorpio and similar energy. So, like, heard. All right. Heard, I guess. So, Aquarius and 8th house. Okay. So, Aquarius collaborate. There's definitely an emphasis on, like, your relationships with other people, maybe even with another person specifically. But, like, also your relationship with... Because Aquarius is very, like, community... mind. It's like funny because I feel like Aquarius energy to me speaks to the balance between the individual and the community. Like Aquarius energy is very unique and individualistic and independent and progressive and sometimes even detached, but at the same time Aquarius is all about like idealism and the community at large, and like thinking big in terms of like the health of the world. There's a lot of hope in Aquarius. Aquarius is associated with the star card in astrology. And so it's like that interplay between independence and interdependence that Aquarius is really good at. So the fact that it has the word collaborate here, and then we're talking also with your bird cards about like this protective energy that you have, with also the need to care for yourself. Yeah, so we're talking really like your soul's really excited right now about you coming into or learning about the balance between independence and interdependence, taking care of others and taking care of yourself, and how those are kind of the same thing. And your soul is really excited about experiencing the opportunity to learn this and to experience this in your life, to experience what it means to truly be there for yourself and be there for others and find the perfect balance. And I also feel like for some of you, I'm getting the vibe that you might not necessarily have like a concrete partnership or even child in your life or something like that, or animal. There could even be animals. It doesn't matter. Your soul wants to nurture, wants to protect. I think that you do too. I think you're aware of this. And maybe your soul is also excited because some of you are getting the opportunity to do that soon, or you have recently come into the opportunity to do that. Like you have a new relationship or a new child or a new pet or someone who's now under your care. It could also just even be in like a partnership where you're both learning how to take care of each other and yourselves, and like that interplay between being a partner to someone else and what it means to be there for someone else, and also allowing someone else to be there for you. Like, I feel like you are coming into a new experience where you get to learn that on a deeper level. You get to collaborate with others or with someone else on a deeper level. And with the 8th house here, which almost was Scorpio. So the 8th house has the keyword of mystery. Scorpio has the keyword of investigate. So regardless, like, there's a big learning opportunity here. And there are some things here that maybe your soul has not had the opportunity to explore in quite this way in past lives or in other lives. And this experience is going to be quite unique for you. Or there's just like a lot of unknowns about how it's going to play out for you that your soul is excited to explore. I also got that maybe your soul is excited to explore the mystery of someone else, like their psyche, like investigate, like, and yourself. It's almost like learning more about yourself also helps you learn more about other people. It's kind of like that saying that like people can only meet you at the depth that they've met themselves. So if they've gone very deeply within their own self, they'll be able to see you on a deep level as well. But if someone hasn't gone as deeply with themselves, then they might not be able to receive all of your depth, even if you have gone very deeply into yourself, like that idea. And whether or not you like buy into that or believe that, I feel like there is a level where you are learning how to explore yourself and others in a new dimension, in a new level, and more deeply. And it's like through relationship, through collaboration, and through finding this balance between knowing yourself and knowing your needs, and caring for someone else's and knowing someone else's. Okay, yeah, so we're going to get some more tarot cards to clarify. And this one, just like in group 1, wow, okay, so group 1 might resonate with you as well. Or, I don't know, for some of you, like, this is, I haven't gotten a message like this before, but maybe for some of you, like, group 1 is, if there's like another, like maybe there's a specific person that you're like engaged with or working with, or collaborating with or partnering with, and like group 1 is their group and group 4 is your group. I don't know. That's very specific and maybe just for a few people here. But the 6 of Wands also popped out first in group 1, just like this, like very excitedly. So yeah. Interesting. We also have the card, the Moon. I just got the word mother with that. Yeah, okay. 9 of Cups. And now that's too many cards. So we are going to put these back, and we're going to ask you for 1. And if you need 2, we'll allow you 2. No, that's still too many cards. Okay, that was actually 2, but we're going to do one more time, group 4. If those cards need to come out again, you know what to do. Send them out. What is your last card here for group 4? Got a lot to say? We'll do it one more time. Okay. All right, I'll take that. I hope I didn't stifle you. Damn, your soul really wanted to send out a lot of cards there. I feel like that could be a reflection, though. I just heard you have a lot to learn, because with the mystery card here, I mean, with a mystery, it's about like learning the truth. It's about, well, it can be about learning the truth, but it can also be about embracing the idea that you don't know everything and that there's still more to learn and more to uncover, and being excited about that. And so I feel like there's an element of where in some situation where you're maybe taking care of someone or engaging with someone else or engaging in a relationship, where you're working to get to know the other person, get to know their needs, understand them, and also understand yourself, get to know yourself, understand your own needs and how you communicate those things. There's an element of mystery in there. There's an element of curiosity that's demanded of you. It's the idea that the more curious you get about how you function and how someone else functions, the more you can ask questions, the more you can learn, the more you can uncover. And to be open to the mystery, to be open to the idea that you don't know, and to be excited about that. Your soul is, though, to go back to the Six of Wands over here, or Six of Strength, which is the first card that popped out for you. Your soul is celebrating. Your soul is excited. Your soul is recognizing perhaps the bravery or strength that it's taken you to get to whatever point in your life that you're at, to take on the responsibility of maybe caring for others, or starting to learn to care for yourself in a new way, or even to open up the roads to collaborate more deeply with others. Your soul is excited about that. Your soul is recognizing you for your achievements in that area, and just any achievements, honestly, that you've made in your life so far. Your soul wants to celebrate that. But with the moon as your next card under guardianship and vision strong, I feel like the moon here, I heard the word mother when it first came out. The moon can be the archetype of, like, can be a feminine archetype. It can be associated with mother energy. And, like, I've heard people say, like, mother moon, like, like that kind of thing, like, as opposed to the sun, which is the father, the moon being the mother. So the moon here can represent your, like, I feel like your soul is really excited about the opportunity to tap into your mothering nature. It doesn't matter what your gender is. Your more nurturing side. Your soul is really excited about that. Your soul really wants to explore that, wants to be more nurturing to yourself and to others. And maybe for some of you, it could be that you've been in a more masculine, because I'm getting like guardianship, and with the hawk, I'm getting like kind of masculine, maybe defensiveness, or masculine protectiveness. And the moon is like a more feminine version of that, like mother energy. I'm feeling like your soul is excited to tap into the more feminine aspects of your nurturing side, your protective side as well. Interesting. And with the Nine of Cups here, your soul is also, and it's under attend to your own needs. Yeah. Okay. So like, there's definitely that balance here of like your nurturing side, your protective side, and how you might turn that towards others. Now also being able to turn that towards yourself and really nurture and care for yourself and be gentle with yourself, and take care of yourself as well. And with the Nine of Wisdom, I mean, Nine of Cups is someone who's really emotionally satisfied, right, with what they've got. They've got their cups all in a row. And I feel like this person in the Nine of Wisdom here is, they're eating, they're sitting by the fire, drinking, and admiring their coins on the table, right? So they're satisfied with their lot, and they're taking the time to rest, to keep warm, to feed themselves good food. I don't know if drinking a beer is always quite the level of self-care that we need, but hey, sometimes it might be. But yeah, I feel like this person in the Nine of Wisdom, they're just satisfied with their lot, and they're taking care of their needs, and they're taking time to themselves. So if you are someone who's been really caught up in taking care of others, you might need to take more personal time to yourself, to just be, to, feed yourself good food, to take care of like your sense of comfort, take care of your finances, whatever, but also to just enjoy yourself, and take care of your more emotional side, take care of your, like playing, enjoying, having fun can also be taking care of yourself, right? Letting yourself enjoy. So especially if you've been really caught up in taking care of someone else at this time, focusing on yourself, focusing on enjoying yourself is important. And your soul is really, I feel like your soul is really excited about the opportunity to experience finding the balance between these two things, and finding the playfulness and the fun and care that can be involved in taking care of others, and also finding the time to care and be playful with and enjoy your own time, your own self, taking care of your own self, and in some cases, allowing others to take care of you, or when that's not possible, opening up to your soul to take care of you, to a higher power, a higher plane of existence to take care of you. And then with the Ace of Wisdom or Ace of Cups over here with 8th house and mystery, your soul is really excited about opening up to the mystery of what's next. The mystery of how things are going to unfold, especially for those of you who are opening up to a new era of collaboration with someone else. Or, like, I feel like this could be a group where either you are, I think I've said this before, but either you're stepping into a new relationship, you're opening up to new relationships, you're becoming a caretaker for someone, you're becoming a parent, you're becoming responsible for, or you've already been this, but you're also opening up to taking more care of yourself and, like, finding a greater balance and creating a greater sense of well-roundedness to your life in terms of taking care of others and yourself, whatever it is. Your soul's really excited about that, but your soul's also really excited about where it's going to lead you, and not knowing exactly how it's going to unfold, and being open to the opportunity for, like, emotional growth here, honestly. Your soul is really excited about what this means for your emotional growth, about where you're at and the steps that you're currently taking in service of your emotional growth, and how it's going to unfold, and how you don't actually know how it's going to unfold. I also did get a bit of a heavier message for some people, and this is just a very specific one that you'll probably know if it applies to you or not. So don't overthink it if it's not your situation. But for some of you, it's possible as well that if you're caretaking someone who's towards the end of their life, this might be, first of all, a call to obviously, like, attend to your emotional and physical needs more attentively in that process. I know that sometimes things can fall by the wayside when you're in that kind of situation, but also your soul is very intrigued by the opportunity that's present to experience the transition at the end of life, just as much as you might be interested in the experience of the transition into life, right? To experience the emotional depth and the wisdom that comes from being with someone through that time. Your soul there's something in there that your soul values, that your soul wants to experience. And if that's something that's difficult for you, or that is really heavy on your mind or in your experience right now, that could be difficult to hear, but it could also be something that you already feel. Some people do feel that deeply of, like, even though an experience might be difficult, it's also profound, and it also opens up something in your life that you didn't expect it to open up, and that might be happening for you as well. With the Ace of Wisdom, with mystery, I feel like there's some aspect of the mystery of life that is being unlocked for you through whatever it is that you're going through right now or dealing with right now, and through whatever, like, relationships that you're experiencing right now, whether it is what I just said, the example I just gave of helping someone who's towards the end of their life and working with them through that transition, or if it's simply a relationship that you're working through or entering or engaging with. It's bringing you closer to something a little bit more esoteric, something a little bit more mysterious about life, the intangible, unexplainable parts of life. And I feel like you're just at the threshold of what that will actually mean for you. I feel like there's a lot left to be uncovered. And this is only, like, you've only scratched the surface in terms of, like, this next chapter that you're stepping into, because I feel like with the Six of Strength, Six of Wands being the first card that came out, like, your soul's celebrating maybe the end of a certain era, or celebrating the things that have come before, the things that you've accomplished before, and celebrating sort of some kind of transition that you're going through in terms of how you interact with others, how you view life even, how you nurture, how you care for, how you view that whole experience. Yeah. There's also a message in here, especially if you're going through a time that is actually, like, really difficult or emotionally taxing, that your soul is taking care of you through this, is with you, and is guarding you through this time as well. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because I feel like this is a group where it could be a situation where you are excited about whatever is happening in your life right now, and it's overall a very positive experience. But it could be for some people that whatever's happening involves some kind of heavy transition or emotionally or physically taxing experience that while your soul is really getting a lot out of it, is excited about what's coming next, and is learning a lot of profound lessons, it might be a difficult experience for you in like real time, you know? So with that, let's get any closing messages from your soul and any advice on how to connect more deeply with your soul and your soul's excitement, and maybe even your soul's perspective on something, especially if what you're dealing with is difficult at this time. So group 4 soul, what songs? Well, that's a lot. See, your soul has a lot to say, but that's way too many, so we can't. Group 4 soul. Okay. I'm going to get 1 or 2 more. Group 4 soul. What have you got in terms of how to connect more deeply with you, or just messages that you have for group 4? Okay, yeah, let's go with that. So we have No Light, No Light by Florence and the Machine, which says, you want a revelation, you want to get it right, but it's a conversation I just can't have tonight. You want a revelation, some kind of resolution. Tell me what you want me to say. I feel like there may be some things that you want clarity on, or you want to understand now that you just simply have to go through the process of before you can understand it, if that makes sense. It's bringing me to the mystery card over here, like the idea of coming to terms with how much we don't know about existence, how much you don't know, how much you have to uncover. And you might feel this tension of like, I want to know now, I want to understand now. I'm getting even like the song I Don't Want to Wait by Paula Cole. That's like, I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. I want to know right now, what will it be? And there's a lot of themes of like death in that as well, and like loss, and like wanting to like know why. There's like themes of like war, and either like losing like a partner to war, or like having someone come back from war changed and like different, and like the idea of like, why does this happen, or why is this happening, or like what do we... I even always took it, I don't know if this is actually the intention behind the song, but I always even took it as like, I don't want to wait for our lives to be over to know what happens after death. I want to know right now, like what is it, like what's going on. And so that might be something that you're really grappling with or coming to terms with now in some way or another. There's a little bit of like a why is this happening kind of thing. Why am I going through this? Why do I have to go through this? And that is something that you're learning to be at peace with on some level or another. Is that mystery, is that not knowing. At the same time, your soul, if you want to connect more deeply with it and set that intention to, your soul might be able to help reveal certain things to you, setting that intention, going through that process of connecting more deeply with yourself, taking care of yourself, really being there for yourself. It feels like it's a gateway to connecting more deeply with your soul, because that part of you that wants to take care of you, that is your soul that wants to take care of you. So anytime you're taking care of yourself, that's how you're connecting with your soul. And then I think through that process, you will actually come to some revelations and understandings. It might not be the ones that you want or expect to have, but it will settle something for you, I think. There's also an element of, even if you're not dealing with like death itself, some kind of transformation or change where you're like, why is this happening to me? Or like, why is this happening in my life? Again, like, yeah, same kind of thing. It doesn't have to be specifically about death, literally. It can be about like that feeling of like an old life dying, an old thing leaving your life. And like that can feel difficult, but it also can be very rewarding once you come out on the other side and you realize the changes that you've gone through you might be able to find the value in that's something that you have to come to, though, through a process. You don't always just understand why something's valuable. You have to kind of go through that experience. The value is in the experience, right? Yeah. And we have Rainbow by Kesha, which says, I found a rainbow baby. Trust me, I know life is scary, but just put those colors on, girl. Come and play along with me tonight. Yeah. I feel like that's your soul speaking directly to you, saying like, I know life can be scary. I know that if you're going through some kind of change or transition right now, I'm with you. I'm protecting you. Taking care of you. There's also a call to, like, I think whatever you're dealing with right now might be difficult, but it's also an opportunity to learn to work with people in a new way in your life. Ask for help. With the Aquarius card, collaborate. That could also be an important part of this. Like I did say that whatever you're dealing with right now is teaching you how to, the balance between independence and interdependence and codependence and learning how to care for yourself and for others, and how those are not separate processes, and how there might be a better or different way of doing it than you've experienced before that you'll learn through this process. But your soul's also saying, like, your soul has access to also all the lighter things in life and the goodness and the fun. And part of taking care of yourself is also letting yourself play and have fun, even when sometimes you have to get serious, and even when sometimes you have things that you're grappling with that are difficult. It's like you don't have to feel guilty about then also having fun, even if someone else in your life is struggling, or even if you're struggling with something. Like, if there are times when you can, like, just let go and enjoy yourself, then that's perfectly valid. Sometimes we can feel guilty for enjoying ourselves when there's also stuff that's not so easy happening in our lives, or when someone else in our life that we care about and care for is going through something difficult. But that's a sacred process. That's something that you are welcome to do, that your soul wants you to do. And in those moments of also finding your rainbows, finding your signs of things that are meaningful to you. Like, I feel like the rainbow is something that could be like a sign or a synchronicity or something that's really meaningful. I'm even also getting the example of, like, sometimes when someone passes away, like, people will see a rainbow in the sky at their funeral, and that's like a sign that they're, there. You might have your own versions of that, your own versions of, like, things that bring you light, brings you color to your life. So when you're engaging with that, that's your soul bringing you things and being like, hey, here, have fun. Like, here's some light, here's some goodness. And, like, you can look for that, and also ask your soul for ways to engage with fun and play. And you might be surprised what comes into your life. So that is also something that your soul wants you to know. And especially for this group, I feel like, for some of you, again, you might be excited about whatever's going on, or you might be finding value in it, but you're not required to feel that at this time. There's maybe a greater cosmic level where everything is a really interesting and wonderful experience to a soul, but when you're in that human level, it might not feel that way, and it doesn't have to. And so you don't have to expect that from yourself, or try to force that, or try to make that happen. Yeah. But regardless, that perspective is still here for you if you want to engage with that, if you want to engage with that idea, if you want to find a deeper meaning in something, if you want to find like a connection with your soul through a new way of seeing your current situation, that's open to you here. So, with all that said, I think that's all we've got here. So I hope that you found that helpful. Please, if you want to like, comment, subscribe, let me know how it resonated. I would love to hear from you. If you are interested in a personal reading, we do offer those on our website, sunflowerphilosophy.com, link in the description. And we also offer human design and hypnosis services as well. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful life. I wish you the best with whatever you're going through. And also, congratulations on whatever your soul is celebrating here, because regardless of what you're dealing with right now, I think you've really achieved a lot. You might not know that or understand that right now. And also, for those of you who actually, this is maybe not as heavy of a message, congratulations on taking a new step that may be difficult, but also is going to be really worth it in some kind of like adventure or journey that you're taking on in your life. So, yeah. So let's end it there. Thanks again for watching. Have a wonderful life, and I will see you in another reading again sometime very soon. Bye!